Hello, yes, I am back with one of my favorite franchises of all time, Kingdom Hearts. I know I already did this game. I do. I covered it before, I played through it before on streams, but let's face it. I'm fairly sure anybody who ended up watching my streams after they were uploaded on YouTube and saw that there wasn't a voice behind it, they probably clicked off after the first 5 minutes. I would. But anyway, I am back. I am redoing this series. And yeah, hopefully this will be much more interesting. The door is still shut. Now, step forward. Can you do it? Can I do the most basic thing in the game? Yeah, I can. I forgot to read that. Choose well. So, for the voiced cutscenes, I will be silent. Much as I was when I did Birth by Sleep, but that has literally nothing but voiced cutscenes. This one does not. So when there aren't, I shall be voicing them as best I can, as I'm sure a lot of you have realized if you ended up watching my Final Fantasy VII series. Now, as for what this is, basically, you pick one and you give up another. Depending on the combination, what happens is it determines when you end up getting certain abilities in the game. That's pretty much all it does. Now, normally, this is just how I do it. I go with the sword, the power of the warrior, invincible courage, a sword of terrible destruction. Is this the power you seek? Your path is set. Now what will you give up in exchange? And I give up the shield. Get up there! Get up there! Hey! There we go. The power of the Guardian. Kindness to aid friends. A shield to repel all. You give up this power? Hey, Jenny! You have chosen the power of the warrior. You've given up the power of the Guardian. Is this the form you choose? Hell yeah! Why they had to have these into the last? I have no idea. Now we're on a Cinderella platform. You've gained the power to fight. Wait, you mean I could never fight? I could fight with fists? Alright, you've got it. Use this power to protect yourself and others. That just kind of tells you usual RPG type stuff. But the green gauge will be your health, considering it says HP underneath it. And naturally, if you run out, you'll be taken to a continue screen. The blue gauge is your magic points. Basically, however many of those. If you have a blue bar, you can cast magic. If you don't, well, you're SOL. Until you attack an enemy enough times and get a bar, then you can use magic again. Woo! Anyway, the blue gauge shows your magic points. Magic is still a mystery to you. You think? Yes, it is the first one. There will be times you have to fight. Keep your life burning strong. Considering the fact that this is a game where you basically hack and slash your way through, I'd like to think we'll be doing a lot of fighting. You gain experience by defeating enemies. Yep, another one of them RPG elements. With enough experience, you gain a level. As I'm sure most RPG people would know by now. Furthermore, defeated enemies sometimes leave items behind. Another RPG trope! You can take these items by walking up to them. Different items can do different things, like restore HP or MP. Oh no, one's gonna hit me in the butt. Behind you. But if we get overwhelmed, we can easily lock onto a specific enemy by hitting the R1 button. You don't automatically close the distance between yourself and enemies until you get a particular ability, but locking on helps you keep track of the enemy so you can actually keep better track of the fight. Oh no, I'm sinking! But in actuality, I'm just lying on the floor. See? Just the floor. The first one shattered, the second one was overcome by darkness. How is this one gonna break? This is a field icon. It pops up whenever a special command is available, such as examine, talk, pick up, things like that. Excuse me. Woof. Don't suck up on me. When triangle examine pops up, you can press triangle to examine the object in front of you. Now, for people who played the PS2 version, that was not a thing. You couldn't push triangle to do anything in that game. For the PS2, if examine popped up, you had to go all the way down here. But since they ended up doing a remake of it in, like, what, 2013? After Kingdom Hearts 2 was released and it introduced action commands, they moved the examine up to the triangle button. I can't open it. No, duh, it's see-through. Silly Sora.
Ooh, a chest, I wanna open it!
The triangle in the command menu turns into various commands. I just explained that! I literally just explained that! I open it up, but I get nothing. What a ripoff! You can push large crates. Push! Push it, damn it! There you go. There we go. You know what? Screw it. Sometimes destroying objects yields items. Well, that is true. Okay, you might have to elaborate on that, Jenny. Okay, work with me. Okay. Sometimes destroying objects yields items, which is true in most RPG games where you can destroy something. Use these items for the items command. Most RPG people get that by now. Lock on to objects as well as enemies. While locked on, press L2 to switch your focus between available targets. So, like... This is true. Most people haven't played this game since it first came out. Myself included. And I kind of played through this a bunch when I got it on my PS4. Like, as soon as I ended up getting it installed it on my PS4. God damn it, Tom, work with me! This was the first game I ended up choosing because I decided to play them through by order of release in my own time. So I went Kingdom Hearts 1, Chain of Memories, Kingdom Hearts 2, Birth by Sleep, and I got myself a bag of popcorn, maybe two, because let's face it, some bags of popcorn aren't really that big, and I ended up sitting down and I watched both the 358 over 2 days and the recoded movies. So, lock on, and if you lock onto an enemy you're not intending on fighting, you can hit the L2 button to switch between them. That way you can actually, you know, by the way, this is what I meant by pick up. That way you can actually take out the enemy that is the greater threat to you before it can do any harm. Now I can open the door.
Hold on, the door won't open just yet. First, tell me more about yourself.
Press the touchpad button for first-person view. We will never use this. Let's face it, anyone who has played this game will never use this.
You can use the left stick to look around. Press the touchpad button again to return to standard view.
We have never used the first-person view in the game. I have never used it. Other people probably did, but I myself have never used it. I have never had a need for it. Therefore, I have never used it. Now, anyway, what it means by tell me a little more about yourself is there are 3 characters here. If you played Final Fantasy games, they will probably look somewhat familiar. The girl sitting over there on the railing is Selphie. Not a lot of people do, Jenny. Anyway, the person sitting over there, the girl in the sandals and the blue sundress, is Selphie from Final Fantasy VIII. The boy over there in the shorts and the kind of open shirt over there, that's Tidus. It doesn't quite look like it. He's not quite wearing the same outfit as Final Fantasy X Tidus, but it's Tidus. And if the hairstyle and the ball didn't give it away, that's Wakka. Both from Final Fantasy X.
The triangle talk command is available.
Press triangle to talk to nearby people. I explained that a little while ago! You know what? I did the same thing, Jenny. I ended up playing Kingdom Hearts before I ended up playing Final Fantasy X, so it's like I didn't know what their characters were like. All I know is that there were characters in this game, and when I looked at their entries in the journal, it said they were from Final Fantasy X. I didn't play Final Fantasy X until like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years later. Anyway, back to my attempted explanation as to what this is. These 3 will ask you a question, and you will have 3 choices. Depending on which choices you make, determines which part of the game you will be leveling up faster. For example, after you talk to them, it'll say your journey will begin at dawn, your journey will begin at midday, or your journey will begin in the dusk of night. If you get dawn, it means you will level up faster in the beginning of the game. If you get midday, you'll start leveling faster in the middle. If you get the dusk of night, you'll start leveling faster at the end end few levels. So like I think maybe I don't know the specifics, but like as a kind of way to kind of break it down, it's like I think level 1 to 25 would be leveling up faster at dawn. 25 to 50 or 60, one of the two, would be midday, and from 50 or 60 onward, that's the dusk of night. So if you wanted to max out your... It's not exactly something that the game tells you. The game doesn't really tell you that. It really doesn't. So a lot of these things people don't normally know until people who actually know a lot about the game tend to end up revealing it to people. I didn't even notice that. I ended up watching somebody play through the game because I didn't end up being able to actually finish the game on PS2 because I got to the end world. Like, I got to the last world of the game, into the room just before the final boss, and then something happened to cause the disc to snap. So I was never able to finish it on PS2. But when I played it on PS3, that was the first time I ever finished the game all the way through. And the first time I ever beat all of the bonus bosses in this game, including the Final Mix exclusive one, which is the version of the game that we are playing. The difference is, most people probably don't remember. Honestly, by now, basically, the enemies are different colors than they were in the PS2 version. So, in essence, the Final Mix palettes of the enemies have become the normal palettes, and the normal color palettes have become the Final Mix color palettes because we don't really remember what a lot of them look like from the PS2 era of the game. Anyway, I'm going to stop standing around and answer these questions. What's most important to you? Being number one, friendship, and my prized possessions. Being number one, that's not something I particularly care about. Prized possessions. There are some things that I do value, but it's not like I'm gonna end up being some person who's like, everything that I own is precious to me, so I value it above everybody else. So no, I'm gonna go with friendship. Because I got friends, I care about them. Oh, Jenny. Jenny. Is friendship such a big deal? Yes! It is! It is awesome to be able to have somebody there when you need them. Especially in tough times. What are you afraid of? Getting old? That's something I've already come to terms with. I know I'm gonna get old eventually. Being different? Everyone's different. Being indecisive? Honestly, I can't really say I've ever been indecisive. I've taken some time to actually consider choices, but I've never been indecisive. I'm just gonna pick this one to get it over with. Getting old? Is that really so scary? Not really. What do you want out of life? To see rare sights, to broaden my horizons, to be strong. Okay. Rare sights. That is definitely something that a lot of people want out of life. To broaden my horizons, that could mean a bunch of different things. To be strong, that could also mean a few different things. But most people would want to see rare sights or broaden their horizons. But I don't know, it's like broadening my horizons is like it does present opportunities, and opportunities come and go, but being able to see rare sights, that's a once in a lifetime thing right there. To see rare sights, huh? You want friendship, you're afraid of getting old, you want to see rare sights. Your adventure begins at dawn. As long as the sun is shining, your journey should be a pleasant one. That right there is a way of saying that I'm gonna start leveling up faster at the beginning of the game. I mean, it's not... Well, any grinding I do for the really tough endgame bosses, aside from the final boss, I'm not gonna make you watch that. I have a method of grinding experience, and it's kind of silly to watch me end up fighting the same thing over and over and over again just to get the experience for it, so I'll spare you guys watching me grind. any like deliberate grinding I'm going to be doing off screen. So, yep, sounds good. The day you will open the doors, both far off and very near. That doesn't make any sense. Aurora! Now, this game tends to appeal to a lot of people, not only because of the fact that it has a few Final Fantasy characters in it. I keep pushing triangle to jump. I have been playing far too much Final Fantasy XIV. Anyway, some people enjoy this game. Some people enjoy this game because of the Final Fantasy cameos. Some people enjoy it because of the Disney worlds and the Disney characters in it. Honestly, I like it because of both, and the story is quite compelling. Like, every single time a game comes out and the story leaves off on a cliffhanger, I'm like, oh god, what happens next? I need to know more! Anyway. There is a certain friend of mine. Hold on 1 minute. What happened? Oh, hi, Dad. Anyway, there is a certain somebody I know who absolutely adores Disney. And I don't mean just you, Jenny. Anyway, I figured she might enjoy this game, but figured I'd show her what one of the games is like at least. Press the Options button to open the main menu screen. Basically, Options is the PS4 pause button. In the main menu, you can do things like view your inventory and status, or configure your game settings. I typically leave the game settings alone. Rarely go in my inventory unless I end up getting some attack boosts or defense boosts or AP boosts or anything like that. As for status, the only things I really change around are my keyblades. That's it. However, you can't open the menu during battle. I would have figured that one was obvious. You're too busy fighting stuff. Oh look! More mutant ants. Level up already. Now, unlike most RPGs, you can't save whenever you want in this one. You actually have to look for these little green circles that are the save points of the game. You can also use it if you want to just recover HP and MP really quickly. It is a good idea to save often, but there aren't enough save points to save as often as you would like people to save. as you can see, I've been playing this quite a bit. And I've also started files for other people who do not have a PS4 who wanted to play the Kingdom Hearts games, such as my sister. Hold on. Okay. Never mind, crisis averted. Alright. Ooh, bell. The closer you get to the lights, the greater your shadow becomes. Get me out of here. Crap, crap, crap! Darn it. Only one option now. Yeah. I hit that. Tech points are also things you can do to help you get experience points. So, if you get tech points, good for you. You got bonus experience for just doing something. Fighting this thing, don't worry about these little... As they're attacking the hand, you'll kill them too, so don't worry about it. And with that, it's completed! Oh no, my sword! But don't be afraid. You know what that is. So don't forget. You are the one who will open the door.
Whoa! Give me a break, Kairi.
Sorry, you lazy bum. I knew that I'd find you snoozing down here.
No, this huge black thing swallowed me up. I couldn't breathe, I couldn't... Ow!
Are you still dreaming?
It wasn't a
That's
dream.
spelled F-O-R-A,
Or was it?
Jenny.
I don't know. What was that place?
Or
So
did your phone
bizarre.
autocorrect?
Yeah, sure.
Say, Kairi, what was your hometown like? You know, where you grew up?
I've told you before. I don't remember.
Nothing at all?
Nothing.
You ever want to go back?
Well, I'm happy here.
Really?
You said
But
you
you know,
always did like Sora's blue
I wouldn't
eyes.
mind going to see it.
It was
I'd
spelled
like to see it too.
S-O-R-E-S.
Along with any other
His name is
worlds out
spelled
there.
S-O-R-A.
I want to see them all.
So what are we waiting for?
Hey! Aren't you guys forgetting about me? So, I guess I'm the only one working on the raft.
Ah.
And you're just as lazy as he is.
So you noticed. Okay, we'll finish it together. I'll race you.
Huh?
What? Are you kidding?
Ready?
That's okay.
Go!
I just assumed your phone auto-corrected it. Sora and Riku are already so far ahead and Harry's all the way back there. You're so slow at running! Kingdom Hearts. Final mix. Gather the rest of the supplies. So are you listening to me? Yeah, I heard you. Okay, here's what you need to go find. 2 logs, 1 cloth, 1 rope. Bring everything back here. If you need help, just ask. I'm counting on you. Log. Now, one thing that you can do here, aside from the gathering stuff that, Harry asks you to do, you can talk to the same 3 characters that you ended up talking to in the beginning segment, and you can do stuff.
Hey, what's happening, man?
I do admit some of the voice acting for some parts of this game are like, it probably could have been a little better, but it's like, it's what we got. Talk to him again. Yo, yuck around. Yeah, that's nice. Play is for kids. This is serious.
Show me your stuff!
Gotcha, Waka.
Man, that really hurt.
If you throw a ball at somebody, it's going to hurt. Oh, by the way, this is only for people who decide to play on beginner mode. But if you play in beginner mode, you start off with 8 power-ups, 8 defense ups, and 4 AP ups. So if you're new to the game and you're not sure if you quite pack enough punch, you can use these at any point in time. Knocking his ball back at him is just a matter of timing. It took a lot of practice to get that, trust me. Anyway,
The breeze feels great.
the breeze today when I was walking my dog Sheila, it felt really nice. What are you up to these days? We never see you. Want a duel? Alright, now you're talking!
Okay, don't hold back. You ready?
That, I'm still having a hard time.
Come on. You ready?
Half the time she ends up hitting me. Oh, there we go.
Come on. Oh, I can't believe I lost.
You get experience for beating them. Gonna climb up here, talk to the other guy. Oh look, a rope. I need that.
Hey, Sora! You feel lucky today?
Rating. Hey Sora, you want a little competition? You asked for it. Alright, let's go.
You're going down!